Hi, I'm Tony Stein with Hillside Christmas Tree Farm. Today we're going to do some top work in our fir field. These trees were planted in 2020, so this would be their fourth or fifth year growing, depending on how you look at it. So we have 2020, 21, 22, 23, now 24. This ground's a little heavier, so they're a little slower than the 21 planting, and I think this source was a little smaller. So tools we're going to use our Tapener. We have our ADC bands. Again, I have my pouch with my extra sticks. I don't think at this age we would need any top rings, so we'll leave those inside the cart. And again, I don't think we'll need any branch adjusters, but just in case, I also have some of those I'll be carrying around. In my pouch, I have extra tape, extra staples, clippers, because we'll be just making sure we don't have any doubles, and we're just kind of trying to give the tree the structure that we want to develop into a nice full shaped Christmas tree. So I want you to follow along and see how we go. Eventually we're going to take 2 rows each, but you're going to learn first, okay? So just kind of look at trees. So this one, it looks okay. All right, we got one kind of leader, so that's okay. This one's okay. This one's okay. This one's not okay. All right, so we have to cut one out. So we're just going to say, you look at the top. So there's 2 on that one, maybe 3 on that one. So we'll just cut this one out. Okay. That one looks okay. This one looks okay. This one here, there's a lot going on. What do you think?
Yeah.
So usually you look at, which one's at the top, because the tree wants to grow, push a leader, right? So far you're thinking him. So that's okay. So we can cut this one and this one out. Why don't you do that? You cut it flush with the stem. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Perfect. That one looks okay. This one here, what do you think? What's that one look like?
I got this thing.
It's got 2 of them. Yep, we got to cut that out. Yep. Might as well just hold those things in your hand. There you go. Perfect. All right, this one a little trickier, right? So this one here looks like it got some frost damage or something. Right now, this thing is trying to be a whole nother tree, right? So we don't want that. So that one will cut out right there. Why don't you do that? Yep. Perfect. Now hopefully next year we might have to do some stuff to get this thing to fill in, but at this point this is the best we're going to do. Maybe during the year we'll cut them down a little bit so that we're not going to grow too high with a big hole in it, okay? All right, sometimes you see a weed, right? This thing's pulling this leader down. We don't want that, right? So we'll pull this weed out of here. Birds kind of break it, but yeah. All right, that one looks, oh, that one's got 2 of them, huh? You can't see it at first, but there's a double. So what do we look at?
The top.
Look at the top. So what do we see here? 5. What about that one? Whoa. That one's a star, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's take the 6 and we'll cut this one out. Yep. Perfect. All right. That one looks good. That one looks good. This one here, what do you think's going on here? Man, this one, like, butt aborted all these. But it's got 2 of them, so we have to pick one, right? And it looks like some of them grew. So what I would do, I would just nip this off, because that's not going to do you any good. And then I would say, let's keep this one on the side. Perfect. This one here probably flatten out. That one will take over. Beautiful. That one looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. All right, this one here, you got some stuff going on, huh? So this one stuff is coming from the bottom. So I don't know, this thing didn't really turn out to be a leader, maybe a bird. Got some stuff underneath. So the stuff underneath, right, we don't want to take over. So we'll cut all the bottom stuff out. See what I'm doing?
snipping the bottom stuff.
Just snipping the bottom stuff, right. Right, there's several of them. So we'll kind of take that stuff out first. Okay, now we're left with that. So because he's not doing too well, and he is, right, maybe we'll just cut this old one out and we'll leave it just like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Looks like a little, we got our main stem there, right? When this stuff comes harder, maybe we'll trim the sides a little later, but for now, that's how we'll leave this, okay? Pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, now we got this one. You're up. Your turn.
That one's coming from the bottom.
Those are coming from the bottom, right? So let's cut those out. And you can just cut them right there, that's fine. Yep. All three of those. Yep. Yeah, and then probably those. Yep. And then that last one.
This one.
Yep. And then maybe, yep, that little guy too. Yep. Perfect. Well, that's how we'll leave it. All right, that one. What do we got? 3 liters. Yep. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the tops. Now you don't have to look at every top. That one, yep, you know that one's not it. So cut him out. And then another thing you can look at is how many buds are along the stem, right? See all the buds along the stem? So if they have the same, that's another thing you can look at to kind of determine which one. So it looks like the tops are the same, but I kind of like this one a little bit better. So let's cut him out. Now, if you decided that you like that one better, there isn't any wrong choice, okay? But you look at the buds along the stem and kind of the top, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what do we got here? Got 2 of them, huh? Yep. So you can pick on this one.
I like the bigger one.
You like the bigger one? All right, cut the bottom one out. Perfect. That's it. That thing we're just going to leave for another year, okay? That one looks perfect, huh? Perfect. This one here, we got a little bit we got to take care of, huh? 2 of them. So then you can get a little quicker, right? As you get better at this, you can just kind of yank, and that's it. All right.
Well, I like this.
Yeah, that one I think we planted this spring, huh? Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Thing here's got some stuff coming from the bottom, huh? So we'll trim those out. Got a dead branch there. Not gonna do anything for us. All right, leave it just like that. This one here, right? See these coming? Looks like the old top died. So let's trim that out. Maybe this out. We'll let that kind of take over. This thing here is going to take over, so cut that whole thing out. There we go. All right, ready to do your own? Okay, so we did those 2. Now we're going to skip a row. You do these 2. Or you just want to do one? You start with one? All right, so you do those, and I'll be right here, okay? That one looks fine, right? This one here.
This one's my favorite.
So that one's your favorite? It's almost as tall as you, huh? All right. So what do you think? Are they trying to be leaders? Or are they trying to be branches? Okay. So it's good. Okay.
Yeah. But then this is her.
That one's trying to be a leader. That one's got to go.
Wants to be the star.
So come here real quick, Mia. This is where the tapener comes in play, right? So this one really doesn't have a good leader.
Yeah.
So the tapener works by,
Snapping.
yep, you click it a little bit and this claw grabs the tape. Okay. And we had a stick here last year, so we're going to pull it up a little bit. And we'll turn this guy up. And then you push really hard and it gives it a staple. Okay? All right. So you can go take care of that double one right there, huh? You got a hole in your bag?
Whole new bag.
Did you have a hole in your bag? Yes, you do. Okay. Just be aware of it. So this one we got to train something up.
Huh?
This one we got to train something up, right? There's really nothing. Yep. And I know this is pretty far back, but we're going to use him. So now we're training a whole new branch to be the leader. Okay.
There's a branch.
Look over it. Yeah, you could leave that.
So then, what about this one?
That one's small enough. Let's just wait.
Okay. Flowers.
What?
This one has dead tree, but then a non-dead tree.
Dead tree, then a not dead tree, huh?
Yeah, see? Dead part, and then
Okay.
grown part.
So we want to cut all these out.
So like this one,
Yep.
and then this
Yep.
one,
And then this piece.
this piece.
This one here. Yep. Now I would try to tape him over.
Take this one over.
Yep.
That one.
Exactly.
Now you put the other one.
Perfect. In your pouch. Yep. Get your tapener.
So then you do it lightly,
Yep. A little harder than that. There you go.
and then you just put it.
Ooh, that was a little too loose, but yep. All right, go ahead and staple it. Push really hard. There you go. Now you're gonna have to do it again. There you go. Now, yep. See if you can get it a little tighter. There you go. That was a little tighter. Yep. It's gonna give you a little trick. Use the branch to, really just get it close, just like that. So then that'll straighten out by itself.
Okay.
Perfect. Good job. Sometimes I hold the tapener in my other set of hands that I'm not using.
Yeah, well, another.
You're right. Yep.
This one good.
No.
This one.
Sure. That choice is yours. I would cut that one below it. So these guys are trying to try to take over. So I would cut him, cut this one, I would cut this one.
Okay.
So this one looks like a deer rub. And we gotta do something here to try to, we'll use the old stem as a splint. All right, so I'm doing these two. So skip over, and you'll take that row back.
That one?
Yep. That one with that tall tree. And then I will take the two next to you. All right, now we're getting into the Concolor as well. I have a row of Concolor here, and kind of explain what happens with those. They're a little bit different. So far looking good. So this one, we'll see if we can really teach this one to come up. If this doesn't work, then we'll have to train one of these other stems to be a main leader. Looking at this tree, I would take this one just because it's got a couple of good branches of support and won't create a hole, but hopefully that will work first. This is exactly why you carry extra staples and extra tape on yourself. That way, don't have to stop, go back to wherever stuff you're keeping. In my case, it would be on the Ranger in the big bin. And you keep on moving. So I picked this leader because it had a branch under here that would fill in the hole from that top whorl. Alright, so the Concolor is a little bit different. Like that one you might want to stick. Yep, and I would choose him. So I would put it on this side here, nice and open. Get your, yep. Oh, alright, so now, sometimes when that happens, so once it's latched down, you got to push it all the way to staple it. But sometimes the tape kind of gets in here sideways. Just got to fit it through those grooves again. See how it barely clipped it?
Yeah.
Now it'll be okay. Alright, so now we're going to hold the stick here.
So then
Yep, you got to put 2 on the bottom. A little bit more. There you go. Big squeeze. Okay. Perfect. Then you're going to do that again right below that. Yep. Big squeeze. Got it. Alright, so now I'll come on around this side where I'm standing. And then, you know, it's going to be one of these two, I would think. So, maybe him.
okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. Squeeze hard. Nailed it. Okay, and then I would cut this one.
Cut that one.
Yep. Perfect. And that's just how I would leave it. All right. All right, hang on. Yeah, so you have to use a stick. What? So, if there isn't really anything, another trick you could do, yeah, or you could just cut that all out. Yep. So, what happened was, like, this thing grew last year, this one didn't grow last year. Now this thing does. So an option you could do is just cut this all out. There we go. Yep, but I like this better. Then we'll come in, we'll prune this kind of tight. Okay, and we'll let it be its natural leader. All right. All right. So I'm going to talk in general. So in general, when it comes to Concolor, I'm not so worried about cutting back a year, right? So looks like last year this bud set that was here didn't grow for some reason, right? It grew this little stub, developed another bud. This grew, this grew, this grew, this grew. All this stuff started growing this year, so I don't have any problem nipping this back, right, and letting this growth this year kind of resume as it should have grown last year, right? So that little guy was here, this one would have grown up normally, and there would have been something here that would have to get taken out this year, but you know, let the kind of tree take its natural form. One thing strange about Concolor is that they will abort one year and then pick up. You okay? Good. Excuse me, you're right. Yep. Oh. It's all what? Totally flat, yep. Sometimes you just say, you know what? I'm going to wait another year and see what the tree decides to do on that one. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with that either. Though we'll try not to make that decision too many times like that one, right? There's no, let's give it another year and it might not make it, right? All right, you're on this row, Mia. You're on this next row right here. Yeah, you found one? Cool. Those are nice bugs. Yep. So I think when it comes to Concolor, someone in the group, like put it into words that in the Facebook group, put it into words that I think explains them beautifully. Is that, you know, they are all ugly ducklings, And then one year they're just gonna find themselves and become swans. So I think that's very true. I'm kind of not afraid to cut into kind of old growth and things like that when I'm kind of guiding them along their growing journey here. But you know, you try to make sense of what you got. I'm not afraid of leaving horns. It really seems that they kind of sprout and grow however they want. Like this one, I'll cut back, see if he'll decide to take over, leaving that guy to shoot that way. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm more okay with concolors not growing from one single stem than I really try to achieve that with the other true firs. So that's what I do. Take it or leave it. You know, truth's in the pudding. With these videos, you see how the trees turn out as they grow throughout the different stages. I don't think I've done, my first video I did planting like 2020 was in this field. So that one, this was the first year we use a planter. First year I started the YouTube channel. So good stuff. All right, what about that one? Yeah, he's trying to become a little branch, huh? So him, I would just cut right below the little ring there, just like that. Yeah, it happens. Scratches are gonna happen. See if you can find any like monarch caterpillars too, because they like these plants. Good old poison ivy. So again, I prefer a tapener over the ADC bands because, again, I can have one hand holding stuff and one hand to kind of do this operation. For those ADC bands, you got to use both hands to pull the string, pull the rubber band, guide it through. It's going to be a bit harder than something like this tool, which can just be used one-handed. All right, Mia, kind of mark where you're going to leave off. That one you're going to need to, oh, that's a good one. So let's see here. So this is kind of older growth, right? This is where the tree should be growing. So I would cut this right here, bring it back. Yep, there you go. Now see, it looks like kind of like a tree. Now we gotta, you know, gotta get rid of this double here. Perfect. That's how we'll leave it. Now you're done with the row. All right, so that's gonna wrap up kind of our, you know, 2020 top work. I'm gonna do a couple more videos just like this on the different ages of trees, so maybe you can see my different approach as the trees progress. Obviously this field we still have 3 years hopefully before we start harvesting, so there's a good amount of time to let the tree fill in holes naturally. And you know, at this stage you're just kind of guiding the main structure. You don't want any doubles, but as you get closer to harvest, your methods kind of change. I think this was a neat video. Obviously you saw my 11-year-old daughter in it. She was learning how to use the tapener and how to decide. So I think it's a good thing. Gets me out of my mind is automatic. I can look and I think more than I talk. So I think this was good to try to get that out of me a little bit more in a teachable moment. So I hope you like that. Obviously we're a family farm. You hear the mower in the background. That's my oldest, who her favorite thing to do is use the zero turn. Mia seems to be the field person that likes doing the trees. My other two, Ava and Connor, are 8 and 6, a little too young for the attention span required to kind of do this stuff, but they like coming out here, playing around. We've gone through a pretty big heat wave, so they're not out here today and doing this stuff. So, all right, stay tuned for the next one. We'll head up to the next year's field, which will be a little taller, and yeah, should be good stuff. Thanks.